Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my oh god. So this is going to be my 4th fitness update. I'll put a link down below to my fitness playlist so you can go and watch my previous update videos, because if you haven't seen some of those, some of the things I talk about in this one might be a little bit confusing. So yeah, at least definitely check out the first one where I talk about the type of program I'm on and my whole goal and just, I guess, explain like this whole journey that I'm on. So in my last update, I told you guys that I did have a little bit of progress to report as far as weight loss, fat loss, I guess. And I mentioned how it was kind of like a revelation that I had. So I have this hoodie. It's like just a regular plain zip up one that I got sent to me from Pop Sugar just as like a welcome gift, whatever. And it's a size small. They had sent it to me sometime in like December when I first started this whole journey. And at the time it fit me okay. Like I used to wear it to the gym, but I never would zip it up. I can't remember now if it's because like I just couldn't get it to zip or if it was, but I know it was just like too tight and it just didn't look right if I zipped it up because it just was too small. So the beginning of last week, I was at the gym and I was wearing that hoodie, and like halfway into my workout, at one point, I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized I was wearing that hoodie and I had it zipped up. And I didn't even realize, like at the time it didn't even register to me. But not only did I have it zipped up and it fit comfortably, but it was loose on me. So I have this hoodie that a few months ago was way too tight, I couldn't even zip it up, and now I can and it's loose. So, and it's like, you know, thick cotton sweatshirt material, so it's not like the type of fabric that would stretch or anything like that. So it kind of made me realize, like, wow, so my body is changing and I'm not even realizing it, but why is it then that none of my other clothes seem to be fitting me any differently? And then I was like, duh! So here's the revelation that I had, and maybe some of you can kind of relate to this, I don't know. So my exercise routine is primarily weightlifting, like I've mentioned in all of these updates. Since I'm lifting weights, like heavy weights, I'm not just doing like light weights with a lot of reps, like I'm lifting heavy weights. So, and I can physically see that I'm putting on muscle on my body. Like I can see all the muscle like forming in my legs, my arms, whatever. And also, you know, I'm getting stronger and stronger every single week. So I know that I'm putting on muscle. So obviously I'm going to be gaining some kind of weight. So the fact that my actual weight itself has been kind of stagnant, it makes sense because as I'm losing fat and gaining muscle, it kind of just balances itself out. So the amount that I actually weigh might not change, but that doesn't mean that my body composition isn't changing. I know all of that, obviously. It still can be a little discouraging when you get on the scale and you don't see any difference, but mentally, I know all of this. So I started to take my measurements because I thought, well, maybe that would be a more accurate way to tell my progress. But the thing with measurements is unless you've lost like 2 inches or more, it's really hard to be able to tell for sure, because when I go to measure my arm, for example, right? You can't really tell because I have long sleeves on, but say I measure right here, like I put the measuring tape here. It's slightly different than if I put it like right here. Like my measurement's gonna be off by maybe even like half an inch or so. And so sometimes when I go to do my measurements, I'm like, I can't really tell for sure like if this is the exact same spot that I had it in last time. Like, because if you move like, you know, just a tiny bit up or down your arm, the measurement could be slightly different. Also, it depends how tightly you hold the measuring tape. Like sometimes I'll pull it like pretty tight, and then other times like I'll just really loosely hold it there, and so that can make a slight difference. So there's a lot of room for error, I think, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not doing it properly. So some people might be watching this like, it's not that hard, like you're just doing it wrong. But I don't know, I feel like I forget, like, you know, each time I go to take my measurements, I forget, like, wait, did I do it here? Did I do it like this, you know? So even if I'm not really seeing a change in my measurements, or even if I am, it's hard to know for sure, like, how accurate that is. So then I go to, how are my clothes fitting? Because that's what everyone tells you. Like, the best way to see if your body is changing and if you're losing fat is to try on your clothes and see if they're fitting any looser or any differently. And so I was doing that for a while. I would keep going, and once in a while I would try on a pair of jeans and see, and it just felt like things were still just too tight and they weren't getting any looser or fitting any more comfortably, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Granted, I've only been on this journey now since mid-December, which isn't really that long anyway, but here's what I realized. So I started gaining weight a little over a year ago, like around December, January. That I think is when like all of these hormonal issues I've been having, like the hypothyroidism and the PCOS, I think that's when all of that started, because I was starting to notice symptoms around that time, and that's when all of a sudden like I just started gaining weight. From around that time, like from January 2014, my clothes were already fitting me pretty tight even then. And so as I like progressively gained more weight or whatever, I just kind of stopped wearing my form-fitting clothes because they just weren't fitting me comfortably anymore. So I was pretty much just wearing like stretchy clothes since last January. So leggings, sweatpants, just loose shirts, nothing form-fitting. So when I go and I try on those clothes that used to fit me comfortably like in 2013, and I'm like, oh, but they're still tight on me, that doesn't necessarily mean that I haven't made any progress in this amount of time. So since January 2014, my clothes were fitting tight. Now we're all the way over here in March 2015, so I, could have made all this progress and lost weight, and just because my clothes are still fitting tight doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means I haven't gotten past the point where I first started putting on the weight. Does that make sense? So even though I haven't been able to reverse an entire year of weight gain just yet, but that doesn't mean that I've not made any progress. I don't really have a lot of form-fitting clothes that I've purchased like since this past summer that I can try on and use that to compare. I only have like old clothes from like my normal weight. So even though I haven't gotten back to my normal weight yet, doesn't mean I haven't made progress. Is that making sense? I hope so. So that was sort of the revelation I had. Like, wow, I've been really down on myself thinking I haven't made any progress, but that obviously isn't the case because the sweatshirt that I have now is fitting me kind of loose, and it's a size small, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so that's that, I guess. I have gone shopping a few times here or there over the past few weeks, and I've tried on a few clothes in the dressing room, and it's kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes I'll try something on and I'll feel good about it and I'll be like, oh wow, like I'm surprised that these actually fit me, like that's a good sign. And then other times I'll try something else and then it doesn't fit and I'm like a little discouraged. But I think overall I'm staying on track. Like I mentioned in my last update video, I have yet to completely fall off the bandwagon. I mean, since I first started mid-December, there has not been a single week where I didn't stick to my program, where I didn't go to the gym. Even during the holidays, I allowed myself like a day here and there where I wasn't worried about tracking my foods and stuff, but I still like consistently was working out and watching what I was eating, tracking my foods and everything, even during that time, which I've never been able to do in the past. So I feel good. I know I have a lot to be proud of. I mentioned in my second update, I think, that I was trying to drink more water. Last week, that was okay. This week, I kind of like completely forgot again, but I don't know. It's that I just forget. That's the biggest problem. So maybe I should like write it down somewhere, like hang it up on my wall or something so that I see it and it's like a constant reminder. But yeah, so I'm still just working on that, and a lot of you guys left some, really great tips and stuff, so that was really nice. I think a few people even said that there's an app you can get on your phone that will like send you reminders to drink water. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I don't know, that seems a little like crazy and like over the top, but I think I actually might look into that for real because that probably would be really helpful. I'm just excited in general that the weather is finally starting to get warmer here. This week it's been like in the 50s, high 40s, which is like oh my god, it feels amazing. Compared to how it's been this whole winter, it feels like it's 70 out right now. It's just beautiful. It's sunny finally. So in general, I'm just feeling so good, and I'm just like really excited, and I'm looking forward to having like a really active lifestyle this summer. Like I just want to be outside, and when I'm not working, I want to be outside doing something. So yeah. I guess that's it for this update. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to specifically talk about in the next one. I am still working on my food video and my exercise video. The problem is, especially with the exercise one, like I need someone to help me to record it while I'm, you know, working out. So I'm working on that, but they will be coming, I promise. So yeah, that's it for this update. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. But just so we're clear and all on the same page, that's what feminism is. That's the actual definition of it. And when I say, yes, I am a feminist,